Yeah, tell us about what you had for breakfast.
Well, I had 6 slices of bread, toasted in butter, and 2 eggs, flattened out, and a big bowl of strawberries. So that's my breakfast, 2 cups of coffee, and a glass of orange juice. That'll last me till 3 o'clock or so. Then I'll get hungry, then I gotta eat. That's when I have to eat my main meal so that I get some energy.
Energy, right.
Get my proper nourishment. And then late in the evening, I eat a bowl of ice cream to top it.
Well, this is my sister Doris. We work cattle together all the time. And we help each other.
Yeah.
And that's the way we get along together.
We help each other as much as we're able to. We're not able to do a fortune, but we can help out a little bit as much as we're able to do. If I wouldn't have him, I would have a problem because he does help me quite a bit, a whole lot.
I was born in November 10th, 1936 in Floresville, Texas. As a baby, I was moved out here to the farm with my parents, my dad and mother. My dad's name was Ed Billimek, and my mother's name was Emma Billimek.
Okay, I was born in 1923. Now, whether I was born, I don't think there was a hospital there at that time. But the doctor and his wife, who was a nurse, they were the ones that delivered me. It was a country time. You just didn't have the conveniences. We had kerosene lamps to start off with, but then my dad bought a Delco unit to put a single light up in the ceiling that hung down.
There was never well on this place as I was growing up. We lived on strictly rainwater up the roofs. We had 2 cisterns at the house that would catch all the rainwater there, and that was our drinking water and cooking water. And there was never well on this place.
What year was Papa born?
Papa was born in 1889.
Okay.
And he died in 1960.
Yeah, but he was, when they moved up here, he was only 11 years old.
Okay.
So he went to school over there at Sunnyside. That little school building that's there, or the building that's there, that's where he went to school. How long he went, I don't know.
In 5th grade. He went to the 5th grade. Because he always told me as far as he went to 5th grade.
That's all the education he ever had.
Ever had, right.
And he was very conservative. He wasn't stingy, but he wasn't, let's say he was tight.
He was a conservative man.
Held on to his money as long as he could.
He was very conservative.
He didn't give it away, only in playing cards.
And buying beer. And he loved his beer. Okay, Grandpa come over here in October 1900. They come from High Hill. They lived in High Hill. Grandpa come over with his family. And he bought 1,000 acres of land right here, in this area right here, going toward town. And when he decided to quit, he sold it to divide up between his 4 boys. And Uncle Louis got that port right over there. My daddy got this port. Uncle Charlie got it up there on the hill where the boy lived. And Henry got his over there where Chester Laskuski lived. Like she said, my daddy paid $9 an acre for this land when he bought it from his daddy. And
8. Cut it back to 8.
$8 an acre? Mm-hmm. Okay, then he bought 225 acres from my grandpa. My daddy did. So that's the way it started. That my dad always told me that. That's the way he started. And it was mostly all brush at the time. He told me that he cleared this 30 acres out right over here first. Then he started farming it when he had mules. He had 2 sets of mules.
Well, all I know about Prohibition was that you couldn't buy beer anywhere. Uncle Henry, my brother's,
Your daddy.
my dad's brother, made a lot of beer. He sold a lot of beer out of his house there next to the church. That's where they lived. In that house, there's a big basement, as big as the house was on top. Uncle Henry had his distillery down there, and that's where he sold the beer. That's where he made the beer and sold the beer, because they had card tables down there where the guys came and drank beer and gambled. It was all his pocket money. He didn't have to pay tax or anything. There was no taxes in those days. Not for that, anyway.
My dad said he didn't make whiskey. He was bootlegging whiskey too, and he run that copper line all the way out there toward Leroy's house. It was underground, laying on the ground, come out in the brush, where the smell wouldn't be coming out of the house. And that whiskey, when he was cooking the whiskey, the smell would be out there in the brush. So they would never want to catch him on the smell. So he never got caught bootlegging. Never did. He was slick. So that's where he made all his money during the Prohibition time. So when I graduated, Pop asked me what I'm going to do. I said, well, I want to think about farming. I want to take over the farming area. So my first year was a drought. That was a year, I graduated May of '55, and the drought was on already, and I started farming that winter, started plowing and everything. I got my crop up in the spring to about 3-4 inches tall, and it burned up. I mean, it was a total drought. So there was another drought. There was 2 droughts in a row that we lost. I lost all my time and my fertilizer and my seed. You had 2 big gardens. You had one right over here, and you had one over there in front of the house.
When it was fresh, we ate it fresh. But if we had too much, we canned it so it would be there for winter time. Because very seldom did you have a garden in the winter. If the weather was right, you might have.
We did plant some cabbage and turnips in the winter, and kohlrabi. Kohlrabi, we planted.
Or lettuce.
Radish, we did plant that in the wintertime.
I think turnip. Did turnip?
Yeah.
Turnip?
Oh yeah. We had turnips.
We raised anywhere from 4 to 6 hogs a year. Maybe not 6, but 4 at least. And we made our own bacon, our own ham, our own lard, and what else did we do?
Made our own sausage.
Our own sausage. So there was nothing wasted, just what was inside in the intestines.
Only thing you'd lose,
the lungs and stuff like that.
Only thing you'd lose on the hog would be the squeal. Everything else was eaten.
I get letters like that all the time. They want to buy my land. We have been checking the records at the Bear County, Wilson County courthouse, and we see what acreage you have. We see that it could be for sale. That's what I do with them. Throw them in the trash. They don't know what I'm asking for this. They couldn't pay me for what I'm asking, so I'm not going to sell it. That year when he was born, there were 2 others in that Malter family. They were born the same year. R.W. was born the same year, and this cousin of ours that lives in Oregon, Portland, Oregon, she was born in '36. So those 3 are still all living, but the rest of them are all gone, that family, the grandkids. But it's him and R.W. and Maureen that are living, that were born in all the same year.
And you too, yeah, that's it. And that's the only 4 that left in the Mouser family.
Because there were a bunch of military grandkids, and he and her and those two others are the only ones that are left.
And you and I are the only ones in the Billimek family left.
Yeah, and he and I are the only. The rest of them have all passed away.